As you know, I am in the middle of the fight of my life in Canada right now, all because I decided to hold two speeches, two men's events that are small, between 30 and 50 people. I started in Montreal, where the entire establishment there came out against me. The media came out against me. The mayor did. Feminist organizations came out against me, and they frothed up these feminists on the ground, social justice warriors, and they got my original venue canceled. I didn't back down. I found another one. I successfully held the event. And what do? They hunt me down on the streets of Montreal like a dog, throw beers at me, and they wanted to do more, but thankfully I escaped and kept myself safe. And now in Toronto, it's the same thing. You got the mayor of Toronto, he came out against me. Mayor of Mississauga, you have Norm Kelly, this dying old man who's a politician here, he came out against me. The Toronto media, Toronto Star, City News, every channel, I'm the leading newscast. Me, a random writer from the US who wants to meet with 40 guys just to have fun with them and talk to them. And, I'm tired. You can probably see how tired I am because I've been, being hunted. I have to wear a disguise. I have to hide. And for speech that is completely legal, that doesn't promote violence against anyone, don't believe the lies that organizations like the CBC give. So I'm sure if you're a Canadian citizen, you're probably wondering, why is this? Why is there national attention? Why are all the media and the politicians coming out against this guy? And I asked myself that too, because I held events successfully in Germany, in England, in the USA, and nothing happened. Why? Because it's just a small group of men meeting and hanging out and talking. But Canada is different. Canada flipped their shit. They lost their minds over here. I have to hire bodyguards now. So if you want to ask why that is, look at me. Do I look white to you? Do I look like a white American, Canadian Englishman? My parents are from the Middle East. My dad is from Iran. He is a Shiite Muslim man. I grew up with Muslim beliefs. Where do you think all my views come from? Where do you think my ideas on patriarchy and masculinity come from? Where do you think my idea that men should be strong and women should submit come from? Where do you think all that comes from? From thin air? No, it's from being raised by a conservative, honorable, respectful Muslim man. All the views that I present on sex, women, and men are basically a light version of Islam, of how Islam does family values. It's a light version of what you can find in the Quran. It's a light version of what has been taught from the Prophet Muhammad. That's all it is. I'm basically introducing traditional Islamic values, traditional Islamic family into a Western audience because these values are good for women and men. But I'm being attacked in Canada. So what does that tell you? That the Canadian establishment is vehemently Islamophobic. There is no other logical explanation. Because if you have an explanation why in Canada the entire establishment is coming out against me, mayors are coming out against me, I'm being hunted out on the streets like an animal, but everywhere else it's cool, then I'd like to hear it. It is Islamophobia. Canada has a serious Islamophobic problem to where I fear for my own safety because of the beliefs that I have, which stem from Islamic thoughts, Islamic writing. What you have here is Canadian women, privileged white Canadian feminists are not checking their privilege. What you have here is rich white Canadian politicians not checking their privilege. Because they're not checking their privilege, they have forgotten what it means to be persecuted for your religious beliefs and for other beliefs which obviously stem from being raised in a traditional Islamic household. I can't conclude. I can't conclude anything else than a persecution based on my religious beliefs, that I thought Canada was open. I thought Canada allows millions and millions of Muslim immigrants to live in Canada, but I was wrong. Canada is the most Islamophobic country that I've ever seen, and it's the most dangerous. I've lived in dangerous countries like Brazil, Russia. I wasn't hunted down like this. My views were accepted. But in Canada, I am being met with violence, even before I was in the country for a week. And I believe this is definitely because that my sex views come from Islam. The only place in Canada I'm safe, believe it or not, is a mosque. I've been hanging in a mosque all day, praying to Allah, praying to Muhammad to keep me safe. That's the only way. The only way that I can, and I hope that they keep me safe. I hope that I make it out of Canada based on all the threats that I am getting. I am hoping that they at least provide safe passage for me to get out of the most Islamophobic country that probably exists in the entire world. And I ask all my Muslim brothers and sisters to speak out against these Canadian reporters and feminists and privileged politicians for their Islamophobic beliefs that are, you see how tired I am? I can't even sleep. Every noise I jump thinking that the mob is going to break down my door and throw more drinks at me or do worse. Even if you're not Muslim like me, I hope you believe in free speech. I hope you believe in freedom of religious expression, because what they're doing to me is obviously going against both of those ideas that I thought Canada stood for, and that definitely the US, where I was born, stands for. So if you see people speaking out against me in Canada, you know why it is. It is Islamophobia. Please, let's stop Islamophobia in Canada. People should be able to preach beliefs, sex beliefs, marriage beliefs, religious beliefs that come from the Holy Quran, that come from the Prophet Muhammad. So I hope that you will help me in this fight. God is great, and may He be with you.